nieces and nephews. This is your Uncle Bill, and welcome to Uncle Bill's Variety Channel, where we cook, we camp, we create, we critique, and we climb. Climb is metaphorical for physical activity. Well, this week is Camp Week, and guess what? As usual, Uncle Bill has 5 crazy things. Oh, I forgot I was wearing this. This is one of the crazy things, and it has to do with camping. What does it have to do with camping? Well, when you're out camping, you want to take pictures. And what this is this is a piece of grip gear that Uncle Bill just acquired. Not only that, I got this piece, the orange piece, for only $1.75 because it was 25 cents on the dollar. What a find. Anyways, this piece here is a solution to a problem that Uncle Bill had been thinking about for a long time, which is using a small head on a tripod. Why not? And a way to get around this big head here, which is a quick release. This is pretty heavy. This is not very heavy at all. What it is a 1/4-inch flash mount with the little screw knob. Now, the screw knob will actually make it so that whatever I put in there will be held solid. So it's the same as a locking mount, except for the fact that it only weighs like maybe 1/4 as much. Now, I've taken my Canon SD 780 IS, and that'll just slip in here easily. And then I just go and use this thumb screw. Whoops. Let me get that in there. There it is. Now it's in, and you can see. And you screw it tight. Now the camera's nice and solid in there. You can see I'm shaking it, and the camera's not going anywhere. Why am I able to shake this camera? Because it doesn't cost very much, and I don't mind if it goes flying. But you notice it didn't. Thank God. Woo! Anyways, that is number 1 camping gear. A small, flexible selfie stick if I want it, or I could tie this off to a tree or set it around, curl it around like a snake, and then it'll stand all by itself. That's number 1. Now, the other thing that Uncle Bill has done, which is for you all, is I'm a little bit more organized. I brought a box of stuff today. Things that you can bring camping, wacky things from Uncle Bill's house. I always like to have a little bit of extra cash on me because you never know when you're going to run into a buy. That thing that I just showed you, all told, was about $2 because I spent $11.96 to get 5 of those mounts, and $1.75 to get, okay, well, maybe over $2. Uncle Bill still can't do math. Here's a 1-person hammock that I got for like about $3 a long time ago. String it between 2 trees. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of trees where I go camping. And Uncle Al, great to see you. The only things that you missed was I have a piece of camp gear that I'm showing here. This is a nice piece of camp gear that's just a flexible selfie stick and mount. And then the, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, hammock, because it's always good to have a hammock. But out here in Southern California, well, there are some trees, but not a whole lot of them when you're going camping. Now, nice thing to have camping is a hat. This is one of my ghillie hats, as they call them. This is for camouflage, for woods camouflage. And then if I happen to be out in the desert, we have a desert camouflage hat. Great for camping. That's number 3. Number 4. Oh, well, seeing as we're having hats, Uncle Bill has to bring you way back to 1975, for example. when Uncle Bill wore this hat as a college freshman. Yes, they made us wear these hats. It was fun. That didn't have nothing to do with camping. Here's number 4. Always handy to know where you're going. You don't need to spend a whole lot. People, if you're dependent on your cell phone to know where you're going, you're just setting yourself up for disaster. When the cell towers go down, you're not going to have cell service. You're not going to be able to use your GPS on your cell phone. Therefore, you're not going to know where you're at. You could buy yourself a cheap GPS. I got this one on rewards points, but this one is just a Garmin. Doesn't cost very much, maybe 30, 40 bucks at most. Or you could use a cheap compass. Just have it. A lot of people have them on their wrist. I've seen them as throwaway commodities. I think I showed you last on week 26. I showed you the 2 little compasses that I pulled out of the walking sticks. When you're camping or fishing or jogging, this is what we used to use in the military when we went jogging to hold our ID card, but it's also handy for a hunter, for a hunter's card, or for your credit card and your identification for, like, say, if you're out in the woods or something and somebody steals your car, you want to have a credit card. There you go. I was looking all over for mosquito netting. I know I have it somewhere. Uncle Bill has a stuff problem. Okay, last one for camping. And Uncle Bill unfortunately forgot to bring the counterpart to these. Now, a small hammer is very handy to keep in the glove box of your car for both camping and for emergencies. You want something that's going to break glass? This is perfect. Make sure to wear gloves if you're going to break glass. Now, the other thing that you can use it for, and I was going to get some 20 penny nails, but unfortunately, when I was out in the garage going to get them, Uncle Bill got thinking about something else, and I forgot about it. Up north in Carlsbad Beach, there's great camping. The only problem is any tent stake that you try to use will not stick in the ground. And Uncle Bill figured it out the first time he went. The best thing to use for a tent stake up there, don't forget to pull them out when you're done, is 20 penny nails. And that's pretty much it. Uncle Al, did I miss him? Anyways, Uncle Al, I hope you're still there. I'm going to watch your broadcast later because we all need to check out Uncle Al at Die Bullfrog 79, and he has a great channel. It's very good, and my microphone's right into the picture, isn't it? Nobody told me. How come you didn't tell me, Bridget? Here we go. Can you still hear me? Well, you can still see it too. We'll fiddle one last try with this and then let it go. Okay, that's enough. Not too bad. A little bit showing in the picture. I'm up for any questions. And guess what, folks? We're 10 minutes into the broadcast and we're waiting for a question. Next week at this time, by the way, is going to be pre-recorded. And no problem, Bridget. I hope you're eating something delicious. Now, this thing, like I said, is just such a handy little, here's 2 of them. You got the cold shoe mount. This goes into your camera or flash. These flashes are actually set up that way now. Not flashes, lights that you can see in the background. That's my center pole for holding my camera, light. And then on the other side, where's my other light showing? Oh, here it is up here. Messy background as usual. And this, because it has the screw, will hold my camera or light in place solidly. that isn't going anywhere, folks. They had, okay, I paid for 5 of these complete mounts. I paid less than $15. They have another one from Small Rig, which is similar to this, but it automatically snaps whatever you put into it with a spring mount to keep it from backing out. But that isn't going to prevent it from wiggling. And also, it's not going to hold it as firmly as this screw in place. So there's that. Hey, Fraser, did you try that thing out? Does it work? I gotta know. Like that guy said on that Dirty Harry movie. What is it? Dirty. Well, it was Dirty Harry movie. Clint Eastwood. Anyways, I got to know. Have you tried it yet? And put it on your walking stick and seen if the way that I said it should work would work. Uncle Bill needs a little drink of water because my throat gets dry. So this is something that you might use, Fraser. Also, you could actually, they do have mounts that go for the iPad mini. And this thing, you could screw this part into the frame mount and then have this, another option of many. You could screw a screw into the top of your walking stick and then put it on like that. And here, I'll show you. Picture this being the top of your walking stick. You take a piece of all thread rod, about 1 inch long. You can pick it up at Home Depot. Just drill a 1/4 inch hole in your walking stick right down the middle, and about 1/2 inch in, put some epoxy glue down there, put the all thread in, and you're all set. You have a mount. It clips on the iPad mini well. Haven't tried it on the stick. Well, what I had suggested on the stick is to get some paracord like this and just wrap it around the stick with that mount on your stick. And that way you could just leave it on your stick. Just have it down a little ways, or wherever your hand is not, you have that thing below it or above it, whichever. And it should make it so that you don't lose it like the other one. Well, I'm glad it clips onto the iPad, and give my best to Eva, and hopefully that'll help keep her arms from getting tired. Photography and camping go hand in hand. I don't know if you were in here earlier, Fraser. This was one of the crazy things that I had suggested for camping. And what it is a bendable grip gear. And this one you can actually, I forgot that I had it on at the beginning of the broadcast, and it's just so comfortable if you get it just to the right bend. And you could wear this all day long and have your camera. If you have a small one like this one, you could actually put that in your pocket, which is the way I usually do it with my camera. What are penny nails? Okay, penny is they're called penny because it's penny weight, actually. And I think the way the story goes is the way that they used to measure a nail. Fraser could probably correct me because he probably knows better than I do, but I'm pretty sure that the standard nail was measured as being a penny weight. So if it was 1 penny, then it was equal to a penny. If it was 2 pennies, it was equal to 2 pennies worth of weight. Either that or they cost 2 pennies at the time. You'll have to look that one up in the Google references. But I do know as the penny weights go up, the size of the nail goes up too. It gets bigger, thicker. A 20 penny weight nail is a heavier weight nail. It's used a lot in home construction, and it makes a great tent stake because you are not going to bend a 20 penny nail. They don't cost but pennies. yeah, they don't cost very much. They're a lot cheaper than tent stakes. The big thing is not to forget them. They are leaving pennyweight nails behind on your campsite is worse than littering. It is littering, but it's worse than littering because if somebody runs their car over that nail, odds are high that they're going to damage their tires. As a matter of fact, Uncle Bill, when I went back in 2019 to visit the rest of the relatives back east, I had a rental car and I was in the dark campground. And wouldn't you know it, Uncle Bill ran right over a nail because I didn't see it and somebody had left it on the campsite. And so here I was on my rental car going to find an auto shop in a town that I didn't know. And luckily, I was able to get the car fixed and back on the road in a minimal amount of time. Excuse me, my hairs are, these are handy to have around the house. I have three of them, and this one, the Mafidi, is a really nice one for $10. You have to add some magnets onto the back. You can get the magnets over at Dollar Tree. You can get 10 magnets for $1, and I used 4 of them on the back of this. So what was that, like 25 cents? It's not very expensive and nice little one. And I like this one actually better than my boogie board. Although the boogie board, you can actually trace with that and put it over something, but whoever is going to do that? I mean, artists maybe, but not me. All right, so we have 12 more minutes. The lines are open. Oh, by the way, I bought a Mandarin. Speaking of cooking and camping. Oh, and I totally forgot this week. I am going to be including quite a few things into the Friday's video. I want to talk about storytelling and edible dirt worms. In other words, telling a story about going fishing. And what you do is you take the black Oreos and you take the cream out, you crumble them up, and that's your dirt. Then you take gummy worms and the gummy worms that you eat, and you put them all in a plastic bag, like this plastic bag that has pennies in it. And you put the big word worms on it. Tell all your campers that you're going out fishing. And then put some coffee on your hands so that it looks like you've been in dirt to make it dirty, like a dirty feel. And talk about, and then, you talk about lunch and how hungry you are and everything. And you say, okay, let's bait up the hooks, and you grab into the bag and you pull out one of the gummy worms because kids love stories. And then you just go, oh, I'm just so hungry, and eat it. And I think that'll be a good story type thing. And I have to storyboard that one out for this Friday because that's what I'm going to do. The other option was I might bake pots to have the dirt and the worms in, but then the story isn't as easy to come up with. So it'll be interesting. Hi, Bill, do you have any suggestions for DIY camera overhead rig? Oh, it just so happens that in the background here, and you notice the headlamp Fraser, and what we can do is shed some light on this. Here we have modeling in the background, my overhead rig. There is a giant GoPro stick, a clamp it, and a table. We have 2 lighting arrangements here, and they are also on GoPro sticks and clamp it down at the table. Total cost on that, I'd say maximum, including the table, I think I got it for under $100 when you add it all together. But it isn't very expensive. There's other ways that you can do overhead rigs. The magic arm that I sent you the link to, I don't know if you came in earlier or not. Did you see these, Andrew? These are very handy. And what this will do is make it so that you don't need a small head. But when you're doing an overhead shot, you probably will need a small head. This is more for camping. What I would do is, do I have a small head around here? Yes, I do. The lights that I was recommending also come with small heads, which can be used for overhead camera shots. Now, with an overhead camera shot, it's also nice to have a lighter weight camera. Also, a camera that you don't mind if it gets, I'm looking for my camera. Sorry, guys. Here's one. If you have a cheap camera, thrifty camera, excuse me. If you have a thrifty camera, these I buy for anywhere from $15 to $25, close to $30. And this is the Canon SD 780 IS. It makes it easier for an extended reach on your overhead without worrying about the weight of the camera. My Canon M50 weighs about 3 times as much as this. And then you add a lens on there and it's going to be 4 times as much. So that's the extension. And Andrew, feel free to send me pictures of what you're looking at as far as where you want to set the rig in, and I'll be able to better answer that. Hi, Bill. Do you have an overhead rig? Yeah. And the other thing that I have done with overhead rigs is if you look at my exercise video, well, let me go grab one of these guys. Figures I'd unplugged the wrong one. This is my exact setup for the light. It's the same. It's a similar setup for the overhead rig. What I do is I have the clamp it here, and then my light and a GoPro stick. Okay. Now for the overhead rig and Movo, I can't believe they haven't raised the price on this. In the UK, I think this costs maybe about $25. In the USA, this thing's still going for $15. What this will do is make it so that you can do your overhead rig and rig it out whatever way you want. Come on, give me a half second here. Because you guys put me on the spot. And I still got 5 minutes to do this, so I'll take my time. Now, one thing with the Movo, this piece of grip gear here, you might find that there's overspray on the holes with the paint. You can just run the threads through, or what you can do is buy yourself some, whoops, I didn't mean to hit the microphone. This is, what are they? They're called, I can't even remember what it is, but basically it's rethreaders are what they're called. And you get yourself, you really only need one, but it's just as cheap to buy one as it is to buy a whole set. And you get the 1/4 inch and the 3/8 inch, and you're all set because that'll do everything on the Movo. But we can convert this from a light to, let me grab a different GoPro stick because I don't want to take this one apart. Here's the big one that I had in the background. This one's the same size. So you just take the head here and you take we screw it in, and hopefully this one isn't too bad and it goes in quite easily. Now we have an overhead rig. That's a do-it-yourself overhead rig, and you don't want to know how much I paid. Well, actually, I want to brag a little bit. I paid $4 for this stick, and it normally sells for like 30. I ran across a sale for 25 cents on the dollar. I was buying grip gear. Now with this, we can extend it and go up or go down, and then you can see it's very configurable. But Andrew, specifically though, show me, take a picture of what you want. And then if you can go in and either write in your email to me exactly where you want to do your overhead rigs, because I know that your overhead. Oh, by the way, Fraser, you got to check out Andrew's channel. It is so great on cooking. And Andrew, you are a genius. You're doing something that just the bump that you gave to Maji's Kitchen, Maji's Kitchen, I think it's called, or you can type it right in there. I think it's MAJJAIS or something, whatever. I subscribe to her channel. You know her channel from your helping her by doing her recipes and having that one little thing. And by the way, I do like that you're putting your picture in there. I can't wait to hear your voice one of these days. Feel free to call me anytime. But Andrew, you bumped her channel. Her view rate went up by not 10%, 100%, or more like 1,000%. I mean, you 10x'd her views. It was incredible. She owes you big time. And if you didn't get a thank you from her, shame on her. Because I don't think she even she might not even know where all the blessings came from. Sorry, I didn't say. Okay, she was eating. All right, thanks. I'll send it to you tomorrow, and I'll have an answer for you. And Andrew, can you answer me? How come you never went with the last version of your backdrop for your channel? Because you still have that one plate that has that. Because I photoshopped in the rest of the plate. I didn't know why you didn't like it. And I don't know if I can find the actual photo anymore, but I could try if you're interested. My Ajis, yeah, AJJIS, yeah. She got a big bump from your doing her recipes. And by the way, feel free to do the s'morito if you want, or you can do any of my recipes. I wish I was a niched channel one of these days, but I'm having fun, and that's what counts, isn't it? All right, here we are. But this thing is a great piece of little grip gear. And Fraser, you might think about this for going out when you're out camping yourself, for fitting on the top of your tripod or something. I don't know. It's just as Andrew, you and Fraser both know this. I love grip gear. I don't know why, but well, actually, I do know why. As a kid, I was fascinated with tripods. And Bridget can attest to the fact that people think I'm joking that I have a tripod forest, but I do. I have what I call a tripod forest because my living room has no less than probably 30 tripods in it. Half of them are set up and a lot of them are in their boxes. I have mini tripods, maxi tripods, and none that you just pour water on and they expand or anything, but they work good. Yes, 1 minute warning. It is the 1 minute warning. And I'm going to close out this feed. This is the Bill Dube Variety Channel. I love you all. Thanks for coming. This is where we cook, we camp, we create, we critique, and we climb. Climb is metaphorical for physical activity. This week is camp week. Love you all. I'm going to leave the chat open, but I'm going to close the video. Have a great day.